Okay, how's it going, dudes and dudettes? This is, of course, your favorite airdrop hunter, Light here, and today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin, which historically hasn't really been the place to farm airdrops at, but ever since the Taproot upgrade, which allowed us to have inscriptions, the BRC20s, and ordinals, and all the other technologies which are soon releasing, there has been this new ecosystem booming around Bitcoin, and with every ecosystem, obviously, there are also airdrops, which we are going to be obviously covering in this video. But before we go into my list, I do want to put out shoutouts to one of the members of the community, Migvi, who actually did this very, very good Twitter thread, which goes into multiple different entries, some of them which are not even included on this video. So definitely go follow him on Twitter and also check out his thread because it has a lot of good information. If you want to be up to date with the ordinal stuff, which I don't really have time myself to allocate that much time to, he is basically your guy because he's kind of become an expert on that field. So you want to do ordinal stuff, go follow him on Twitter. So our first thing here on the bat is actually something you probably didn't expect, which is the fork drops. So every time in the history of Bitcoin, there has been forks made out of Bitcoin. So in case you held Bitcoin back in 2014, 17, or 18, or within that time period, and maybe you sold them after, okay. But the chances are, when these forks basically took place, you had this event where these tokens were duplicated on the other chain. So if you maybe hold 10,000 Bitcoin back in 2014, that is 1-to-1 ratioed with these other forks such as Bitcoin Cash. So if you had 10,000 Bitcoin back in 2017, you are also going to be having 10,000 Bitcoin Cash. And there are actually multitude of these forks. I remember when the SV fork happened, for example. Then we obviously have Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond. These are still trading and these are still claimable as long as you have the private keys or the seed phrase to your existing or old Bitcoin wallet that did used to have funds back in the day. You are able to actually claim basically almost every one of these. Some of them I even haven't heard about, but some of them are still trading on some obscure exchanges. So definitely something to worth looking into. Obviously, I have done a separate video years back about this. And this website also has other things listed out for altcoins as well, which some of them like Moneros and things like that. So these are kind of worth checking out. Maybe you get $1 or $2 from doing that. But let's move on in this list. So the first thing we have here is the Unisat. And Unisat is a marketplace, it's an inscription website, but also it is a wallet. This is the facto wallet that I recommend everybody using on ordinals. Another one that I would probably recommend is Ledger, previously known as Hero. And basically they have already, and here are some other wallets like Xwor's wallet is actually not too bad either. So, and that also could be on the list of potential airdrops. So once you have connected into the website, you can actually see with your account that there are these Unisat points, which are being granted out. No context allowed into that, aside from that. And you can basically do inscriptions, and these will give you points. So I guess the quantity is one thing that will accumulate you points. Doing orders and obviously going into the BRC20s and inscribing through here or trading through here. And obviously throughout the marketplace you have the opportunity to buy collections or BRC20 tokens and you can speculate on them, and we're actually going to be talking about some of them in the video later on. But fundamentally, these are going to be the criteria. I don't know if the points are based on your volume as well, but what you need to understand is definitely do have transactions, do inscriptions, do trades. There's probably a multitude of different strategies. You just have to count out which gives you the most amount of points on the thing. Obviously, it's not super cheap to do these transactions over and over again on Bitcoin, but at least you are able to adjust the Satoshi, so you can basically mint when the gas is very low. So this is one of the more blue chip airdrops, I would say, probably coming out on the Bitcoin ecosystem right now. Then we have Runex Exchange. These have already announced that they are going to be doing an airdrop. These are basically friend tech meets Uniswap type of a technology that they're building out. There's currently swapping, buying, and some type of honor system. That honor system likely is going to be one of the criterias for this airdrop as well. They do have a written guide. Since I haven't tried this myself, I recommend you going through the actual doc file here and seeing like how everything is basically set up, because I think there's not even like specific like logging system here what they are using. So you gotta like do your own research on this one. Moving on, we have Saturn BTC. This is another like a trading system, and they have a referral program here, and obviously also announced an airdrop. This one also seems to be quite hyped up. You need to have 100,000 Satoshis to become eligible for the Ring airdrop. No idea right now on top of my head how much is that. I think that's maybe, is it $100 or $50, something like that. And so this is another one that I will be participating on. And here I have like a deposit option once you basically log in with your Unisat wallet and you get your own trading screen essentially. So another one I will be doing. And moving on, we have some NFT marketplaces, or shouldn't be calling them NFTs because technology is not exactly the same. And this one is called Inspip. They have their own wallet, which I think you need to download from GitHub or something. No experience with that. They also have a point system here, and you can see like how many people are already participating on it. And basically selling, buying, and minting throughout this interface is likely going to be getting you these points, deploying things, and here you can see like art, I guess. This is, I don't know what is this meant to be, but essentially this is another one that you want to keep your tabs on and see potentially if you're going to be doing some transactions there in case they're going to be doing an airdrop. Another very premium looking Bitcoin marketplace for ordinals is Orar, which probably comes from the name ordinals and bazaar. And there's a lot of big collections here, and you know what I'm saying here is do trade, sell, and buy, and that's probably going to be some type of a criteria for the upcoming, you know, inscriptions, and listings might even count into something. So do everything you can basically to interact with this platform and you might be eligible. There allegedly, there doesn't seem to be like any own collection that they have deployed, so holding that would be probably the smart thing to do if they had one. But let's move on. Then we have upcoming DEX for Bitcoiners called Bitflow, and this seems to be like, it's not even spot trading. This is an AMM protocol. Previously, I thought it was impossible to build out something like this on Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be really hard to build it out and not like getting fucked up entirely. I'm not going to lie, like when it comes to like the Bitcoin core technology, it's very similar to Cardano, but Cardano's been more advanced. These UTXO based things, like a lot of things can go wrong with like leverage and oracles and trading because it works out differently from smart contracts. It's just not the same thing. So you got to be really careful when you're actually like providing liquidity and things like that on DEXs on Bitcoin, built around Bitcoin's native technology. So this one is also very interesting. So join the waitlist, and once it launches, be interactive with it. Then we have Gamma. And Gamma is another ordinals marketplace. Pretty one of the first ones actually came out when I did my first ordinals video. This was already around at that point, so like weeks in. And this is by the Stacks team, which we are going to be talking about in a second. So they do have their Bitcoin side of the marketplace, but there's also the Stacks version of Gamma, which has Stacks-based NFTs. So doing transactions on both sides probably is something I recommend doing. You can focus on Stacks because it is cheaper to do. So I think both sides are probably going to be getting you eligible, but we don't know exactly like, are those going to be like in the same weight and etc. Then we have Bitmaps, and this is kind of like a metaverse project. And I do own actually one of these, and they have already gotten like 2 different token airdrops so far. and you might be even able to find one of these bitmaps on the marketplace which still hasn't claimed these airdrops. I don't remember the tokens right now, but this is becoming kind of like the blue chip NFT. Obviously there's so many of them, but I do want to add that this is another one that you probably want to get, especially right now, because it's cheaper than it was earlier. I think it was 0.06 when I bought it, so they're currently a bit more cheaper. So this is kind of like the metaverse project, and this is going to be a very foundational thing going on into the Bitcoin ecosystem. Moving on, we have Liquidum, and this is a lending protocol for ordinals. Once again, you gotta be really careful about doing this, because I don't know like how safe is this given out. So I would probably like loan out some very more cheaper stuff here with a lower floor. And actually there's like less than 400 people who have interacted with this protocol so far. So you are very good poised to do an airdrop with this thing. Right now I'm not able to connect because this thing is actually Xverse, and I don't have that extension on this browser, so I'm not able to show you, but they do have a score system here, guys. So you're early, and there's not really that many competition here, so if there's less than 1,000 people participating, I think they're gonna be like airdropping to all of them. And then there is this BRC lending waitlist. You can participate on this as well. That's probably gonna be one of the criterias going on. That's kind of interesting idea, but I kind of like more of the NFT lending, especially for more of the blue chip projects. But it seems that a lot of the projects here are very expensive floors. They don't really have any cheap stuff, to be honest. Moving on, we have the last Bitcoin thing here, and that is called Track Network. This was something that you saw earlier here on the list when I think we were in the marketplace. This is one of the more trending tokens right now, Track. And by holding Track, you are going to be getting another airdrop on another token. I think it's called TAP, which I actually also participated on a private sale for. So this is going to be one of the more bigger ecosystem things. And then actually hold one of these pipe things as well. So easy airdrop, buy Track, hold it on your wallet, and wait until the TAP protocol is going to be airdropped to you. So pretty simple stuff. Not a lot of effort to be participating. Then we got stuff that are basically on their own blockchains, but they are adjacent to Bitcoin. The first thing we have is Satoshi VM. They are currently having a testnet campaign. You need testnet Bitcoin, and then you just need to bridge it throughout their bridge system. There might be some upcoming dApps coming out also in the system, but it's basically EVM. Basically an EVM thing. You can put the chain RPC stuff in your MetaMask, and there's like some guides already written by some of the other airdrop hunters already on this. And this is kind of like already has, I wouldn't say it's overfarmed, but a lot of people are already aware of the Satoshi VM at this point. So I mean, it's still like very fresh news, guys, but like so many people have caught up on it. And this is basically going to be, an EVM which the fees are paid on Bitcoin. So that's actually kind of cool idea, and I like it. So this one, definitely interact with the testnet for a potential airdrop. I think it's going to be taking stamps very, very soon because so many people are getting already interacting with this stuff. So this is another one you want to do. And then we have TNA Protocol. This is on managing assets on Lightning Network. And they have these things called the TAP. I minted some of these. They're going to be launching TAP names, which are essentially like address names, and those are probably going to be doing an airdrop. So another one. This is still like not released, so still you gotta wait till it launches out. But I think the TAP token is already, or the TAP inscriptions are already out, so it's partially kind of out, and soon I think we're able to, or apparently we are able to register names right now. No, actually no. This is just showcasing the thing. But anyhow, then we have Stacks. Stacks is basically like a layer 2 to Bitcoin. Stacks has been having a massive rally this year, and there's been many things like the Gamma we talked about just a minute ago. There are many dApps in Stacks. If you guys want to see a dedicated video to the Stacks ecosystem and their airdrops. Make sure to leave a comment down below. We can do that as well. Today we just are going to be talking about two things. And they are like, Stacks is basically a way for you to stake your stacks in order to get Bitcoin throughout multiple different pools. I have done a staking video like years ago. And right now there's things like liquid staking throughout Stacking DAO. And by staking over 100 tokens, you're going to be getting an NFT. And I think there was the potential airdrop. So we know that their point system is technically live now, and that means also referral programs live. So basically getting points are going to be getting you the Genesis NFTs, I guess. Oh, okay, these are already distributed, so never mind that. But basically, you are going to be getting the eventual airdrop of these token. Liquid staking things are becoming very hot commodity right now. We are seeing that in Celestia, we're seeing that in Ethereum, Injective, basically everywhere, okay? So fundamentally, this is likely going to be poised to have very, very high valuation. And obviously, you are getting interest on stacks by doing that. I believe it was 4% interest. It doesn't say here on the page. I think I need to be logged in. And this does require you to have Ledger Wallet or Xverse or a Signa. I recommend you to getting the Ledger one because it also supports ordinals. And you got to be very careful, guys, about the actual formats of the Bitcoin addresses, because Taproot address is not the same as a SegWit address or the normal original Bitcoin addresses. Those older addresses are not able to basically allow you to transfer your ordinals. So you got to be really careful about, what areas you're going to be setting out and where you're going to be sending it to. And maybe we need to do like a new tutorial video into this ecosystem in the upcoming days. And then last thing here we have is BitcoinUS. This allows you to create Bitcoin domains. This might be another airdrop criteria. And this is also on Stacks. So you're basically paying in Stacks to register a domain. And this domain can be used in Lightning, but also can be used in the Stacks ecosystem. More years is like, let's see, do we need to sign in here? Okay, once again, I can't do that. But did say 2 years, 5 stacks. Okay, that is 2 stacks for 5 years. That is very, very good value proposition, by the way, because all the other ones are like for 1 year. So I like that one. But that basically ends up our dive into the Bitcoin ecosystem. There are a lot of other things being built around, and we're going to be seeing a lot more releases coming in the upcoming months and etc. Especially with the halving coming in, there's going to be a lot more hot boom around Bitcoin. So do not like sleep on some of these things. Obviously a bit more harder to farm and needs a bit of like understanding about the ordinal technology. But there are obviously plenty of videos already on YouTube who are talking about how exactly it works underneath and etc. Thanks for watching. Obviously stay tuned for more videos and check out my beautiful spreadsheet list for multiple different airdrops across multiple different blockchains. I've been updating this on a daily basis. We need to add more of these Bitcoin entries obviously here, and there are already a couple of them which haven't actually been mentioned in this video, so just find the Bitcoin icon there and you're going to be able to find some cool stuff as well. But thanks for watching. I will be seeing you guys in the next video when it will be dropping out. Until then, see you soon. Cheers.